Hi guys, I'm celebrity makeup artist Namrata Soni and I'm here to show you some makeup basics. Hi guys, so we have this beautiful girl Ishani sitting over here. I'm going to start by showing you how to use different kinds of blushes, and I'm going to start with a beautiful powder blush. Like you can see, it's a beautiful soft pink. So I'm going to take a little bit on my brush, remove the excess on the top, and I'm going to ask Ishani to give me a small smile. And just in the apples of the cheek, I'm going to buff in this color. Just soft and pretty so that her skin looks nice and flushed. Let me show you a quick way. Say I've applied too much of this color on the cheek. So there are two ways of doing it. You either use like a nice powder brush and you just buff it away in an anti-clockwise and a clockwise motion. This instantly dulls the color down by a lot, almost by around 40–50%, and it looks really nice and even on the skin. And if, say for example, you don't have that, just take a powder puff and just make sure there's some nice loose powder on it and just go into it very gently in a nice circular motion, and this also dulls it down. And a third really nice way of doing it, if you don't have any of them, just take some tissue paper, make it in half, and in a nice round circular motion, you just go very lightly and you remove the extra color, and you can see that there's a little bit color on the tissue paper. Okay, so guys, I've shown you how to do a beautiful powder blush on, her right cheek. I'm going to turn her around and I'm going to show you this really beautiful, it's actually one of my favorite products. So I'm going to show you another favorite product of mine. It's a stick blush. Like you can see, it's got a very beautiful pearly effect to it, and it's really pretty. Now there are a couple of ways of applying this. A lot of people just apply it straight on, and that's great. So you have to just like dab it into your skin like that. But what I really like to do is I like to use a sponge, to just blend it into the skin, because sometimes your hand does not have the right stroke to even it out on the skin. So you can see it's giving me a really beautiful flushed feel. Your sponge has to be slightly damp, very little, not too much, and then you can go back into your stick blush and you can just apply where you need it. I always like to apply blush on the apples of the cheek. So the best way of doing is look in the camera and give a secret smile, like a secret smile. Can you see the apples of the cheek just get highlighted, and then you just go right into that. Even if you have, a slightly younger face with a little bit of baby fat, this always looks nicer because it makes you look younger. And again, if you use too much of this, use your sponge on the other side and you can tone it down a bit. So it just looks really nice and even. But I really like to put a lot of blush. I think it really makes a huge difference on the face. So I would recommend, if you've got really oily skin, use a powder blush or use a stick blush, because it doesn't move anywhere. Even if it's hot weather, even if it's really sticky outside, it stays pretty much in place and you can reapply it easily. So these are what I would recommend for someone who has oily skin or even combination skin. Now I'm going to show you how to do it on dry skin. So Ishani is ready for you guys again, and I'm going to show you two different blush-ons to use. One is a gel blush. Like you can see, it's got a great consistency. It's again fantastic for people who have oily skin or dry skin, but mostly dry. I'm going to take some, tap it on my hand, going to make Ishani smile a little bit, and I'm just going to go in large strokes across the cheek. Again, the entire point of this is to just make the skin look flushed. You can, of course, apply a lot more if you want the color to be intensified, but if you've made a mistake, I would just take a little bit of tissue paper and I would just gently dab it where I've gone in, and in a round circular motion, I would remove the excess. But I really like to apply a lot of blush because I think it looks really beautiful. Again, just on the apples of the cheek. And in this, I'm going to go slightly into the hairline, so it just gives me a slightly more contoured feel and it looks more flushed. Okay guys, so the fourth great option in blush-ons is a really beautiful, cream blush. I've taken it from my pot, and the beauty is that you have to really mix up the product well so that it really goes into the skin well. I'm going to turn her slightly, and with my finger I'm just going to gently dab it, and then I'm going to take my favorite sponge and I'm just with my sponge going to go into the skin right there. Okay, this is the best way of applying a cream blush, especially if you're not really comfortable doing makeup too much. So I'm going to take some, I'm going to keep adding till I'm comfortable with the color. And of course, guys, this is great for dry skin, because for dry skin, it just really you know, gives a gorgeous glow to the skin. It makes the skin look hydrated, and through the day the color just stays put. So like you can see, it's a really beautiful, you know, it's a good difference. If say you're going out at night, I would go in for a nice gel blush. If you're going in for the day and you just want a soft look, just go in for a lovely cream blush. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, like, share, comment and subscribe.